Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Salaki, one moment. Hey, Shalom, Shalom. How about Shemel Shah Brakathum? Salaki, that was Elder Taza Paul. Let me share the screen. Elder Taza Paul on the phone. He ain't gonna be making it with us this evening. But hey, before we hop into it, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And this is a brother Koral Bar from the GMS Houston camp. And again, we ain't got Elder Taza Power with us for this lesson, with all this, stuff going on in Babylon and, sicknesses and things passing around. He wasn't able to make it, but Lord willing that he bounced back with us next week. Hey, if we make it to next weekend, but nevertheless, Lord willing, this lesson do be edifying. We'll hop straight into it, which we ain't, got much to speak about. Some of these things, I'm sure some brothers, sisters, already heard about it with apostles, elders, and brothers doing lessons on it. But we're going to touch on a few things here. I got a video and a couple articles. Shalom Tala Akim Akwath, who on the comment board who tuned in, Yahweh Shemel Shah Brakathum, or who not on the comment board who just watching, Shalom. But, let's hop into it. So you see the first segment of the live show is various topics, which we got 2 articles to go into. Matter of fact, before we start, let's get a precept. Let's get Ephesians 5 first. Let's get a precept to open it up. So these Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 14. It says, because there's a times when, again, because a lot happening in the world. A lot is happening. Major things and minor things. But the beauty of it is it all lines up with prophecy. Hard times are coming, although we know we go be in the midst of it. It's a beautiful thing because the Lord word is playing out. The closer we get to the end of the world, the harder times get. Right around the corner is our kingdom when we can finally get rest. So expect more to happen, right? But seeing more gonna happen, Ephesians 5 and 14, it says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Mashiach shall give thee light. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. You see, you want to start with that because we're in an evil time, a perilous time, as the scriptures say. It's about to be many plagues, distractions to go along with it. Sicknesses, mass death on a high level, unexpected events taking place. As the world would say, also you got Mother Nature kicking in, which we know that's the Lord, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But all these things are about to take place at once. So that's why it says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, speaking to myself first and foremost. Which you go into that word circumference as around, and spec is to see. The Lord gave us this truth. That's why I say in verse 14, awake thou that sleepest. The Lord gave us light. So now we can see what's going on in the world. Hey, what it say? We ain't ignorant of Satan devices. For example, when they put in the news, we going green. We want to go green for a healthier earth and everybody to be one and included. In other words, it sounds good to the world that we ain't gonna leave nobody behind, but we know having this truth in the light, that's the NWO. They trying to have a global world order. So the Lord gave us this truth so we can look around and check our surroundings to see what's going on in our neighborhoods, right? What's going on in our cities or states or America or even the world. It says not as fools, because fools were about Diddy. Fools were about what Diddy doing. You see? It says not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time. Is why, because the days are evil. There's a lot of stuff happening, you know. Now we're gonna hop straight into it. Now this is the first one. Various topics portion. Now this from zerohedge.com. Now check this out. Now this they say it's not gonna happen until 2026, which by that time I expect to have a multitude of babies already in the kingdom. You see, hey, we don't expect to be here that long. But if we happen to be here that long, which we don't, know the exact day of Yahweh Shai coming, what they trying to do in California, which it always got to start with a major state first, like a California or New York or Texas or Florida, and everybody else fall into play. Now we know when in times of Esau want everybody to work on a carbon footprint. It's too much meat being eaten, and he wants you to eat bugs now. Well, now even on the food that you do buy from the stores, they want to take the expiration date off, so you don't even know if it's good or not. Just buy it. It says the title is, and this was put out October 3rd, this today. It says seeking to cut food waste and save the planet, California bans sell by labeling on products. Right? So you go, you're trying to get the best one, whatever got the longest expiration date, you're gonna get that one. Well, not everything will be the same. Now I say 2026, but you also know Esau. When they put stuff in the news, they already doing it. So this even a heads up shit. Hey, when we go in stores, see if they do got expiration date. Because he might start taking it off now. It says food products sold in California will not have a sell by stamp after July 1st, 2026. And Gavin Newsom approved the nation's first law governing, keyword, governing food labeling. Look, it start with food labeling, right? They already got it to where the FDA ain't got to really put the ingredients that's in certain products. It start with food labeling, then food go change. The food will be taken out the stores, especially with this pork strike going on. If that continue, we really gonna see Esau gonna have to have an alternate for food. But just wanted to make mention of that real quick. As a various topic. Esau even trying to take the sell, although it's BS food, he trying to even take the sell by date off of it. I ain't gonna really read into it. I'll put in the chat, right? But the second one for the various topics portion, so this end time headlines, and again, this is a part of prophecy right here. And see, we know these things when the average American, an average person in the world who really ain't paying attention, when they see things like Erdogan, the president of Turkey, or Turkey is beefing with Israel and America, that's a big deal because that's a part of prophecy. That's a sign of what the scriptures say as far as America or the great whore, when she began to lose her allies and they switch sides and help destroy America. Right. This is examples of that happening in real life time. Let's get Ezekiel 38 real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read the article first. It ain't much, because also to add on to this, which we ain't gonna show it tonight, but you also have Israel. Now they still at it. They did another attack on our Hezbollah. So now Iran was forced to retaliate, which they ain't do much. They shot off some strikes here and there, and just for camera's sake. But they ain't really kill nobody major, nobody with significance, as Israel been doing. Israel been taking out all Iran proxies. They've been taking out some of their heads. Shit, even Iran leaders. Israel going for it, but still in all, although Iran ain't respond with a big retaliation yet that's going to shake things up. The point is, the more Israel continue to do things, because now since Iran shot those strikes at Israel, now Israel, they're using it as an excuse to retaliate again. So they're gonna keep going. And remember, last week we played the Elder Ariala and the Elder Required Quam video when they was going into how what's his name? Benjamin Netanyahu, how pretty much his back is against the wall because you have a lot of those small hats, not just a regular citizen, but rich small hats leaving Israel, the land of Israel, doctors, lawyers, so on and so forth. And the position he got himself in, the strikes that he done, the people that he killed, he can't just make peace and say, okay, everybody get along now. He got to keep going, which falls into the place of the least of the flock going to draw America out into World War III. Now, with that happening, with Israel continuing to go, a lot of American allies don't agree with that America is continuing to back Israel, the state of Israel. So you can have allies such as Erdogan with Turkey. Some people part of NATO, some will be a part of the EU, but they don't agree with what Israel is doing, and they're not okay that America ain't speaking out against it. So therefore, they go on to part ways. And this goes into prophecy. I'm going to read it. This from End Time Headlines. It says, Erdogan threatens war between Israel and Turkey. It says, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan warned of war between Israel and Turkey in his speech at the opening of Parliament on Tuesday. So this was 2 days ago, saying the Israeli leadership acting with delirium of the promised land and with a purely religious fanaticism will set its sights on our homeland after Palestine and Lebanon. So Erdogan is saying, look, what Israel trying to do, they got this delusion in their mind that they got all this, because Israel trying to make the excuse that all the land over there is theirs as if they the people of the Bible. You know, pretty much the land that Solomon had. They trying to take that back, you know, as if that's their birthright, like they us. So that's what Erdogan hitting at. Like, look, after they done with Palestine and Lebanon, they're going to set their eyes on Turkey. So he's saying, Erdogan said that the Zionist or Greater Israel project includes Turkey, in which that's Israel expanding their land just from where they at now. That's why you see what's going over there in Gaza. Right, they're just taking that. But you know what Israel do? They'll force a situation, force somebody's hand, and the other nation will retaliate, and they say, oh, see what they did to us? We got to go to war now. But it says Erdogan said that the Zionist Greater Israel project includes Turkey. The Netanyahu government harbors a delusional ambition, including Anatolia, and pursues a utopia, and it reveals these intentions on various occasions. It talk about what happened October 7th, you know, and certain other things. But it says, pointing to the proximity of the borders between Turkey and Israel, Erdogan hinted that war was imminent between the two critical allies of the United States in the Middle East. So you got two allies of America, they about to start beefing, right? They about to start beefing. Two allies. And again, this is prophecy, man. It says, so this is what he said. Look, from the Syrian border in Haiti's Yeladagi district, the Lebanese border is 170 kilometers away by road, and Turkey is only 2.5 hours away from Lebanon by car. In other words, occupation, terror, and aggression are right next to us. So that's why he feeling a certain type of way. He's speaking out against Israel and America. And it's not just Erdogan and Turkey that's feeling like this and go turn from America. Remember, according to Obadiah, if a brother want to post that, Obadiah in the NLT high says all your allies will lay traps for you. And you ain't even gonna know it. But it says, I'll read a little bit more and we can move on. It says, backed by the United States and NATO, the Israeli government is trying to escalate the genocide against the Palestinians in Gaza into a regional war against Iran. And after Iran fired hundreds of ballistic missiles at Israel in retaliation Tuesday night, the U.S. and Israeli officials publicly authorized a large-scale attack on Iran. So see, Iran retaliated and they said, oh, you want to retaliate? So nations can't even defend themselves no more. So now in these next coming days, be expecting something else from the mini hats, man, the small hats. Because now that Iran fired certain ballistic missiles, Israel going to do something else. And we're going to see where that's going to lead, man. But let's get this in Ezekiel 38 real quick. Get straight to the point. This is Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 2. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against it, which is speaking about Russia. It says, and say, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Now, this is going into Russia. The Lord is saying, look, I'm going to put that old spirit, that old warrior spirit back on you, man. You know, likened to what they was back during the Soviet Union. So the Lord said, look, I'm going to put that spirit back on you. It says, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And we've been seeing Russia on the forefront boasting of their weapons, you know, also supplying smaller countries with weapons, as it's about to say. It says, and look, check it out. This will be following Russia. It says Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya. And we also seeing that, hey, Putin got them African nations gathered under him. It says, and all of them with shield and helmets, Gomer and all his band, and this is where Turkey coming at, Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togarmah of the north quarters. So it's written in prophecy that, look, Turkey was going to be joined unto the enemies of America. And we living in that time. Again, this is live in time. We seeing these things play out. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, the Lord said at the end, it shall speak and not lie. And how is it speaking? We have tangible proof now. You know? Read one more verse. It says, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and see, and all the people with him, and many people with thee. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, talking about Russia. So not just them, but it says, make sure you ready, Russia. It says, ain't say Russia, but we know that's what it's talking about. It says, make sure you ready, and who else? And all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And that's what we see in Russia, kind of like big brothering these other nations, because it's prophecy. Hey, he just went down to what it was, Venezuela. Putin them pulled up in submarines, right? Ships. I believe it was Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken, a couple months ago. You don't think they supplied them and blessed them with artillery and certain things? It's prophecy, man. So I'm going to put those two articles in the chat, and we'll move on to the next topic. That was the various portions topic. We're going to move on. See the brother put the priest up. We're going to hit on these hurricanes. And Shalom Tala Akim Akwath, who tuning in. Hey, the elder Hawaii, Shalom. Hey, Yahweh Shema Shah Brakatham. The brother Labad, Shalom Ak. This Obadiah. Now, remember, this Esau is going into, it says Obadiah 1:7. You know what? Let me go to it real quick. Might want to read a verse up. It's Obadiah chapter 1 in the NLT. Okay, we can start at 6. It says, every nook and cranny of Edom, just to get who we talking about, and it's mainly America, because in this chapter it mentions him reaching into the skies. That happened over, well, it ain't happened, right? But that was depicted over here in America as if, you know, what they do, set these satellites out there. But it first began here. The pride that Esau got now in all the world, guess where it started? Right here in Babylon the Great, man. You know, this was the end of it, should I say. You know, But it says every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched and looted. Every treasure will be found and taken. Check this out. Verse 7, Obadiah 1 and 7 in the NLT. All your allies will turn against you, not just Turkey and Erdogan, Erdogan. No, it ain't just him. It says they will help to chase you from your land. And this is how you know they're doing it behind the scenes. Just because it ain't on mainstream media, don't mean Europe ain't feeling some type of way with America. Don't mean, Germany or so on and so forth ain't feeling some type of way with America right now. It ain't just Turkey. Check it out. It says all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. This is how you know. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. It's behind the scenes. Turkey, Erdogan just flat out saying it. But how many more allies go follow that same that example? You're gonna have more people leave NATO, more people probably leave the EU. Well, is in prophecy. You're gonna have the European Union help destroy America, according to Revelation 17. But it says your trusted friends, right? Your allies, your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. Come on, man. So it ain't just Turkey, Let's see. Kind of see the brother BA had it as well. We can move on though. So let's go to the next portion of the lesson. Pause that. Now going into the hurricanes, as we still in hurricane season. Now for the past couple of weeks, the Elder Ties upon myself, we've been touching on or bringing updates on these hurricanes. And look, even before hurricane season, the Lord had us go into an article that said hurricane season was going to be one of the worst and unexpected seasons in the past couple 50 to 100 years. I don't really remember the number, but they said it wasn't going to be no hurricane season as such. Right now, you guys, Helen that just hit, Florida, North Carolina, and certain other places. I'm gonna read a little bit of it, but it ain't just that, because hey, you got one back doing that. As this one just left, Hurricane Helen or Helene, as this one just left, you got Kirk about to pull up, Hurricane Kirk, and then after Kirk, you got some other ones. They get a name somewhere, but right, you got all type of hurricanes is about to, and not just hurricanes though. It's about to be more fires, more storms. Look, we coming into the winter. Ain't no telling what type of blizzards or whatever it's gonna be. But these are some of the things that the Lord judged by. It ain't just that he gotta, send an angel to kill somebody or have somebody get in a wreck. Or no, the Lord could use weather patterns to judge people. You see? So let's read it. This from USA Today. This was put out 15 minutes ago. If I'm not mistaken. Now that was early. Let me refresh it. 39 minutes ago. It was put out 39 minutes ago. It says Helene death toll tops 200 amid daunting water and power issues. Now that's just 200 of what they found so far. It says Asheville, North Carolina, the death toll surpassed 200 as the need for power and water grew more urgent Thursday for hundreds of thousands of residents across the Southeast, a week after Hurricane Helene began a deadly, devastating march across the region. It says outages decreased, but 925,000 homes and businesses remain without power in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Tens of thousands of residents, most in Western North Carolina, remain without running water. You see? Now, look, on top of everything that's happening, you got a lot of people who going through it right now. They don't, the house flooded probably. Family members, they looking for them dead. On top of, you got these port strikes. And look, the places that are named, these some of the places where them port strikes happening at. And also, it was said, man, I seen that at FEMA talking about they ran out of money. We can't help nobody. Let me see. Look, Yeah, FEMA said, man, we can't help y'all for hurricane season. Look at that. Check this out. This was put out a day ago. It says Mayorkas warns that FEMA doesn't have enough funding to last through hurricane season. In other words, y'all deal with that shit on your own. Go get your own water, right? Let me see. I'm gonna read it a little. I'm gonna read it a little bit. It says the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, can meet immediate needs, but does not have enough funding to make it through hurricane season. Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas told reporters on Wednesday, so yesterday, he says the agency is being stretched as it works with states to assess damage from Hurricane Helene and delivers. So look, this is what they're doing. And this is what he's saying. In other words, we can't do this no more. It says delivering meals, water, generators, and other critical supplies. In other words, necessities of man. As it's saying, Sirach, the necessities of man. See, and that's another thing. These Americans got so used to perks, little gadgets and gadgets, and they forgot about the importance of food, water, the basic needs of life, not an Instagram follower or an app. Now, this is the thing. Now, the law about to take away your necessities, daily necessities that man need to survive, and also take away these gadgets and gadgets. Then what you think these people gonna do? How they gonna starve out, man? And Lord willing, this poor strike, which we're gonna touch on that next. Lord willing, this poor strike continue. We need that. If you want the kingdom of heaven, want your Hawashai to come back, we need this thing to continue, man. It says the agency is being stretched as it works with states to assess damage from Hurricane Helene and delivers meals, water, generators, and other critical supplies. The storm struck Florida last week, then plowed through several states in the southeast, flooding towns. And I heard the towns is sundown towns. I seen a brother, an elder, somebody did a lesson on that. All right, which that affected Esau. It says flooding towns and killing more than 160 people. Now it's up to 200 and counting. Right. And he said Mayorkas was not specific about how much additional money the agency may need, but his remarks on Air Force One underscored concerns voiced by President Joe Biden. So he said, I'm gonna end it with this and go back. It says, we are hitting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting, and FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season. Come on, man. That's good news right there. That's good news right there. It says hurricane season runs through June 1st to November 30th, but most hurricanes typically occur in September and October, and we in that time. See? So people suffering right now, and it's going to be a good segue into the next topic, but people are suffering. Put all these things together. People who got homes, or if you do got a home, you got to worry about flood damage. If not, your lights off. On top of that, FEMA saying we ain't got nothing for y'all. Then on top of FEMA ain't got nothing for y'all, the ports where these hurricanes hitting shut down. It's shut down. And Lord willing, they stay shut down. Because when people gonna need food, ain't no food coming in. And it ain't just food, electronics, car parts, all that. We in some exciting times, right? So that's Hurricane Helene that just hit. It's 200 and counting, right? And that was in, again, it says Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and tens of thousands of residents in Western North Carolina still without running water, right? So that's one. Let's get this, because soon as that left, Helene just left, and she did some damage. Now the law about to backdoor with another one. This from MicrosoftNews.com or GBNews.com. It was posted 13 hours ago. It says U.S. weather. America braces for major superstorm as Hurricane Kirk strikes. So after Helene left, killed people, flooded people out, now you got Kirk pulling up. You see? It says America is on another alert. And this after, and mind you, remember them the port strikes Our people already ain't got jobs. All these things happening at once, man. It says America is on alert for another major storm as Kirk gathers pace to join the assault. Right, the Lord ain't letting up on America. It says just days after Hurricane Helene left a $100 billion dent across eastern states, the 11th storm of the season is flexing. It says these things make me smile. Hearing bad stuff that's happening to the society should put a smile on our face. It says the 11th storm of the season is flexing its muscles in the Atlantic. Now it says this is the 11th storm. Now remember, many other times of power for those who tune in, often. But before hurricane season, they said that it's expected to have 20 plus 3 to 5, category 3 to category 5 hurricanes this hurricane season. This is just the 11th one. So shall we expect some more if Esau meteorologists, if they're on point or not? But it says, right, let's jump down. It says warm tropical waters that fed Helene up to a category 4 monster will fuel Kirk as it hurtles along a similar collision course. Now imagine if if Kirk hit the same path that Hurricane Helene just passed. Come on, man. Hey, now we understand when the Lord says, as a woman in travail, these plagues gonna come. When those contractions come, the woman can't stop it. And they get closer together. We seeing things getting closer together, plays getting closer together. We ain't gotta wait another 4 years for something else to happen. Things gonna start happening back to back. It says the Weather Channel meteorologist Rob Ellis said the tropics remain very active with a new tropical storm that we are tracking. And Kirk is going to continue tracking to the west and is likely to become potentially even a major hurricane over the next several days. And look, they already got the next 2 names. It says the next 2 names on the 2024 list are Leslie and Milton. They already got the names. So Leslie, after Kirk, you got Leslie. After Leslie, you got Milton. I think it was this page I was looking at. It got like 10 more names ready. I don't know if it was this one. Right, so you got Kirk. So be on the lookout, for Kirk and the updates coming in these next days. But again, this is judgment that's coming from the Heavenly Father. They ain't just got to, the Lord got to send an angel down to kill somebody. He could use his own creation, the weather. Let me get this real quick in Isaiah 29. Can I see the brother BA put it up? I'm going to read it in KJV first, and then I'm going to get another translation because it actually say hurricane in the translation I looked at earlier. Isaiah 29 and verse 6. It says, thou shalt be visited. And when the Lord, let me finish it. Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai of hosts. Now, how do the Lord visit? In Psalms, it says that the Most High Yahweh is known by the judgment which he execute. And there's many ways the Lord visit. He told us in 2 Ezra 9 that one way was going to be by earthquake. And what is that? A natural disaster. Mother Nature, as they would say. But it's by the going to the Lord do all these things. It says, Isaiah 29 and 6, thou shalt be visited of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai of hosts with thunder. Right? So when people get struck with lightning and when you hear that loud thunder, that's the Lord speaking. It's an old wives' tale. When we were small, they say, hey, when it's thundering and raining outside, it's the Lord speaking. Cut everything off. That's the Lord speaking. Right? But that's how he show his judgment. Thunder. You got people who get electrocuted. That's the Lord doing that. Precise, with precision. What else? It says, and with earthquake. That was one of the end time signs, right? Our Lord Yahushua even prophesied about it, that before his coming, there was going to be many earthquakes. And we've been seeing that in California, for the past, or should I say 2 months ago, you had 1,000 earthquakes within 72 hour, 24, 48 hour period. One of them, between 1 and 3 days, you had 1,000 earthquakes. But that's also a judgment of the Lord. And you know what? These people see these things and they just think it's, again, Mother Nature. Notice the Most High speaking. It says, and great noise is the one I want for the hurricane, and with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And the brother also said the cell phone companies are cutting the signals so those people caught in Hurricane Helene cannot dial out too. Right, man. I ain't know that. Man, you see? And also I seen that you got people who got helicopters trying to go help the people, and the police saying if you're gonna help them, we go arrest you. You know, we go arrest you. But let me get this real quick. Isaiah 29 and verse 6 in another translation, because it actually say hurricane. It's Isaiah 29 and verse 6 in the let's see, I forgot what version. Here it is. In the Young's literal translation. Isaiah 29 and 6, it says, by Yahweh of hosts, thou art inspected with thunder and with an earthquake and with great noise, and what else? And hurricanes. Hurricanes. You see? That's one of the judgments of the Lord. So when we see these hurricanes, Helene killed 200 and counting, that the Lord called that judgment. Just like he can stop the water, stop the rain, the winds, how he did for the Northern Kingdom when they came over here to the Americas, how he did for the Southern Kingdom when they came over here to the Americas, how Yahweh stopped the wind and rain, right? In the same way they can use it to kill people, man. Turn it up a little bit. Let's read it again. Isaiah 29 and 6 in the Young's literal translation. It says, by Yahweh of hosts, thou art inspected with thunder and with an earthquake and great noise and hurricane and whirlwind and a flame of devouring fire. So when people praying to the Lord, Lord, help me and help them, not us, but talking about if they was to say that, Lord, help them, and the house got flooded because of these hurricanes. Well, guess who did it? The Lord. The Lord. This one said to a Aramaic Bible in plain English. From before Yahweh, power of hosts, you shall be visited in an earthquake, in a thunder, and in a great noise, and in tearing out of hair, and in a hurricane, and in a flame of burning fire. You see that? I'm going to put those in the chat. So, right, when the Lord sends these things, it's judgments. And we're going to move on to the last portion. We're going to wind it down. Man, he talking about, let me see. Workers strike suspended. Yeah, but so like I'm looking up what BA just put up in there. Okay, the water. That's the water for putting that in there. So the brother Bartholomew, he just put dock worker strike suspended. So it's over with. It's over with. Right? Which is all good because, yeah, we hope these things happen and it get worse, but it's all good because we know a lot of things going to happen anyway. Remember, we at the end of the world, we know what prophecy say. Something got to give. Something got to happen. We about 40 days away from the election. Something going to happen. Whether they made a deal, these dock workers, or it's going to be another thing. Something going to happen. So kudos to the dock workers, right? But automation's still coming. I feel a little played. Yeah, I feel a little played, But let's still go into this a little bit. So we ain't got to read this one since they done with the strike. But I do want to highlight this because I seen Elder Ariala speak about it in his lesson. How that you seeing a lot of things happening to these ports and docks because the plan is not just because they not paying the people, but the plan is to have the docks the same way as the economy going, is to go digital. You see, it's to go digital. And that's also why these port workers are complaining, because they're saying, look, everything is being automated. You use some robots and machines. For example, like this, if you can see it. This example right here, Elder Atazari put in the chat. So you see these, hold on, let me play it back. These machines at these ports, that's how they want to get it. Straight machines, no people there, no nothing. They want everything to be digital and self-automated. right? Now, so again, you have these dock workers. That was part of the reason they were striking, because a lot of things are going digital, but that's a part of the plan for the NWO. Now, as Elder Ariala mentioned that, not me, but the Spirit of the Lord, fed us with this information right here. Because about a week ago, what everybody was talking about, did he this and did he that, or didn't he do it, or did he do it? Right? Everybody was talking about nonsense. And at the same time, they had that UN meeting and that WEF conference. But at the same time, this what else was going on. And then after this, you see the port strike. Now, this is from allianceforprivatenetworks.com. This is what was going on last week when everybody was talking about Diddy. It says smart digital ports of the future. Now, this event was held September 24th through 25th, the same time as the UN meeting and the WF meeting. It says smart digital ports of the future. I'm going to read a little bit of it. It says smart digital ports of the future highlights the latest technologies shaping the port industry, including digital twin, AI, and IoT, which is the Internet of Things, and autonomous solutions. The Alliance for Private Networks is excited to return to the event to share how private networks can help automate port facilities. Alliance representatives will be participating in the 5G private networks, real cases of utilization, panel discussion on Tuesday, which again, this was had. But we see ways they're trying to do it. For example, remember in Baltimore, remember that bridge collapsed. That bridge and that port right there was the #1 port for automotives in America. That shut down. Then you had another bridge, a port shut down before that, got hit. Now you had all these ports shut down. But it's the same thing we're going to see with this whole system. They're going to shut it down and be working towards getting the new digital program in there. Now it says the panel discussion on Tuesday, September 24th from 2 to 3 to present how the higher bandwidth, low latency, and improved reliability is providing adopters with real efficiency gains. So that's the thing. So don't be surprised if we see more port or dock lockdowns or shutdowns or any of that. Now I'm gonna put this in the chat as well. They got a whole read on it, a whole workbook on it. I'm gonna put this in the chat so y'all can look through it. Now, this from the actual website. It says Smart Digital Ports of the Future, SDP 2024 agenda. So see, look, this is a plan that's on their agenda. And Isaiah 10:1, they just go right. They already got them wrote, but have things happen like a port lockdown or because even DeSantis, let me see. Even DeSantis, he came out. He was about to get the National Guard. Let me pull that up. I read that on the way home. He was about to get the National Guard to go work in them ports in Florida. You see? So even, man, look, the worst it get, you're going to have states, want to separate from the government. Here it is. DeSantis, he wasn't playing. He said, it says Governor DeSantis, Florida National Guard members will go to ports. He was going to make them go work over there to reopen the ports. It was 2 hours ago. Florida deploys National Guard to reopen ports for hurricane relief. But as the brother BA just put, they suspended it, so I guess it's back up and running. Which even that, just because it's back up and running, don't mean they behind on shipments or having a crew. And like as soon as it's over, everybody just clocked in. It's still gonna have certain effects here and now, but it might not be as major as we wanted it to, right? What we was. Yeah, we really ain't got to play all this that what I had because as we see the strike is over with. Now I had this video. He was gonna go through some things that was gonna be affected by the strike, but I'm gonna put everything I ain't touching. I'm gonna just put in the chat, just so y'all can have it. But we ain't gotta go to it since the brother just posted that the strike is over with. Let me put this in there first so y'all can look into this digital ports. So expect more at these ports to happen as we've been seeing it leading up to these days that we in now. For example, the Baltimore port that collapsed, the bridge. Let me put this in the chat so y'all can check that out. But even with that, with the ports opening back up, guess what's still here? Hard times. Hard times still coming, right? Now the port strike would have accelerated hard times, but nevertheless, it's in prophecy that is going to accelerate anyway as a woman in travail. So we good. But still with that, it ain't just the port strikes. You got Amazon striking. You got Amazon striking. It ain't going to be the only ones. The ports did it, Amazon doing it. You're going to have more unhappy workers as it is in prophecy. Matter of fact, let's get there real quick. Unhappy workers going to rise up against the elites. Let me see. Let me get that in Job, and we'll, kind of wind it down here. But check this out. Everything we send is prophecy. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, which that his is going to tell the rulers of this world, the Edomites, the one who call the shots. And it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in straits. And what is he trying to accomplish? His NWO, having the people starve out and come to him for help, having a C-hip in everybody, him being God in the earth. And this way he at right now, he think he about to fulfill that. So the Lord says, when he get to this point, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in straits. Now things are being made difficult for him. One, you got these whistleblowers coming out with his plans. And then a major issue, you got the prophets prophesying against him every day. Also, you got these everyday citizens, they getting tired of it too. And this next part of the verse is going to speak on what we saying. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And when you go into that word wicked, it's H6001. The Hebrew word is aimal, right? Aimal. And when you go into that word, this is the definition. So in other words, every hand of the laborer, sufferer, wretched one, or workman, the people who on these day-to-day jobs, they getting tired of suffering, getting messed over, not getting paid as much, getting their jobs taken by computers and technology. Eventually they're going to rise up. And that's what we're saying, whether they're going to strike or whether they're just going to say F it. Let's go back to this. Just want to get that real quick. Matter of fact, I'll read one more verse. Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So there'll come a time Esau, he gonna put C-hips in people. He gonna have, America and certain parts of the world locked down, but he ain't gonna fully fulfill this NWO. The Lord gonna put an end to it before he can do it. That's what it says in 2 Ezra the 13th chapter. That when Yahushua will come back, he gonna put an end to the inventions of these nations. So you got these not just the dock strike, which that's over with now, as we just highlighted, the water again to the brother BA, but Amazon workers. Right, let's play a little bit of this. The point is the people getting tired, life getting hard.
Striking. Let this become a growing trend. This is going to help facilitate the further collapse of the economy. And you people are going to really feel those birth pangs. Hey, 2025 is going to be a hell of a year. That's what it's shaping up to be. All right, so I'm going to just play this little clip, and then we'll get a couple precepts.
Richest company in the world, but they don't share the wealth with workers that create it for them. Amazon's never going to give us something unless we take it from them. Right. That's right. And every single person out here is going to make that happen.
Amazon said in their peak season planning doc, they wanted to give us only 60 cents for a raise this year. Is that acceptable? No. But it's because of workers at DHL, workers at Amazon facilities around the country, and right here at KCBG organizing. That's how we got a more than 100% increase in what they were willing to give.
It's time for us to stand together and continue fighting for what we're worth. It's time to show them just how essential we see ourselves today. Because without Bezos comfortably hoards in his mansion do not exist. Right. So it's time to fight, because when Teamsters fight, Teamsters win. And who are we? Teamsters! Who are we? Teamsters!
So the Teamsters mad. The Teamsters mad. Amazon mad. And how much more? Hey, look, everybody who working somewhere, you don't like your job. You don't like the job. Nobody really want to work anyway. You see? But everybody's suffering, man. That's where we at right now. On top of suffering, you have Bank of America reporting outages. You got people with a couple hundreds or thousands of dollars in a bank account. They woke up yesterday morning and it was on zero. So see, it's gonna be many little plagues, whether it's big hurricanes and a lot of death, or little, I don't want to say minute, but little miscellaneous things as such that's gonna happen just to aggravate people even more on top of their suffering. Now you gotta wait on your money to get back in there. All these things gonna add up. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get one more. 2nd Ezra 15, and we'll end it. We'll end it on that. Hey, again, the water to that brother BA too for posting that Amazon strike that is suspended. But this is the times we in. This 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. It says, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction. So like it's not the NLT, it's the GNT, if I did say NLT. But 2nd Ezra 15 and 14 again. The world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against nations. We seeing that. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. And we also seeing that. Allies separating, not caring if they was allies, not worried about no treaties. You got the Democratic Party and Republican Party beefing. One group trying to overpower another, and J.D. Vance. You see? J.D. Vance and what's his name? Waltz. Right? While ignoring the legitimate government. You know, the laws that's put in place. Nobody worried about that no more. People fighting for power in these last days, man. And guess what it's going to lead to? Suffering. It says there will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. And what else? There will no longer be free access to the cities. Why? Lockdowns, shutdowns, checkpoints, MOTB. Do you got it or not? Show your chip. Scan your chip. There will be no longer free access to the cities. This is why. Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. And I like to get to this part because what's going to cause terror? What's going to cause destruction? What's going to cause total confusion wherever people live? Verse 19 going to tell us. We got to read them together. So look, the troops go come in and lock down the cities. There will no longer be free access to the cities. This why? Because the struggle for power will bring destruction. People going to riot. Buildings going to burn. There's going to be fights and different militias. Then it's going to be terror. Right? And what else? And total confusion wherever people live. All out anarchy. And what's going to cause it though? What's going to cause it? Driven by famine and terrible suffering. I'm gonna stop there because it's a comma. Terrible suffering. We in hard times. Hard times are we here, but they coming even more. So it's not a game when we put all these little things together. People already suffering, and then you look at your bank, your money ain't there. Your hard-earned money, it ain't there. Then on top of these diseases that's still going around, right? Cell phone outages. People hate their jobs, traffic, right? Ports, shut down. Now they back. Hurricanes, sea hips. Come on, man. Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live, driven by. So it's going to be caused by this, driven by famine, The port situation. That was good. If that would have continued, that would have kept a lot of food back. But not just that, you're gonna have places that's gonna get flooded out and crops gonna get damaged, as it said in this same chapter, by certain plagues the Lord gonna bring on America. And even if what they do have in the stores, people ain't really gonna have money to get it, since the price is gonna shoot up, and that's gonna cause what? Terrible suffering. And because of that, guess what people gonna start to do? And people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. Jacob's trouble gonna kick off. Look how close we are. Look how close we are to this. Everybody already mad. They mad. Everybody on edge already. What we waiting on? Just for the event. Whatever event Esau got up his sleeve. People already pissed off and divided. With Trump and Biden, fucking Kamala and Trump. Everybody on edge. All we need is something to happen in this society that's gonna kickstart all hell breaking loose. That's all we waiting on. Everything is in place. Come on, man. Everything in place. So it says, driven by famine and terrible suffering, and people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. I'm gonna end it right there. Let me make sure I threw everything in the chat. Let me put this in the chat again. And Brother BA, he said he posted that the strike over with. But again, we ain't go fret over that. We know something else gonna come. These things gonna happen. I posted the doc thing. Posted that. Let's see. I'm gonna still put this in the chat so y'all would have seen if this doc thing, if it would have continued, what products would it have affected? Let's see. People stock. Hey, look, see, people already started stocking up in stores.
Jersey in the toilet paper shelf. Long lines and
yeah, man. So it's all good. Hey, we should be excited as the servants of the Lord, because we know a lot about to happen regardless. Remember, they're gonna say peace and safety, then after that, sudden destruction. So people gonna say peace and safety about this. Yeah, it's good they made they strike, but something worse gonna happen after. I mean, ended the strike, but something worse gonna happen after this. You see that? Kind of. Let's end it off. Right. The brother say panic buying. Okay, let's get these last couple of precepts. It says, Jared, the end has come. Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. And it's the Lord, being funny. As if America could bounce back, as if Trump really could MAGA and make America great again. It says, verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. This place it was never great. It was great at one point in time when Gad and Reuben was here, and the land was plush, right? But the point is, it won't be healed. No election won't save it. Kamala won't save it, and Trump and Vance and Harris and Waltz, they ain't gonna save it. Neither is what his name? Bernie Sanders. Neither is Bernie Sanders. I don't know where he came from, but he ain't gonna save it either. Nothing gonna save this place, man. You can't fast as a nation like Nineveh in the time of Jonah. It ain't gonna work. Even if the Lord gave you that option, every person in America ain't gonna do it though. So the point is, it ain't gonna be saved. It ain't gonna be saved. So it says, Jeremiah 51:9, we would have healed Babylon. We would have made her great again, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reach up unto heaven, and is lifted even up unto the skies. And what happened to the last security guard? Right? What happened to the last kingdom whose judgment was reached unto the sky? The Lord sent down fire, Sodom and Gomorrah. The same thing gonna happen here. Hey, shalom to the brother Ahmad, shalom. The brother Kaabia. It says, when people have, this is a quote from Gerald Salente, when people have nothing else to lose and they've lost everything, they lose it. And what's that it? They mind. And that's actually a precept, not what he said. That's a Jerusalem quote. But in 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, it describes that when the Lord take away his word and all hell break loose, that people gonna be looking for answers and they ain't gonna have it. It says, and then shall unrighteousness, which is lawlessness, and incontinency, that's a lack of self-control, be increased in the earth. Right. When people have nothing else to lose, once they lost their possessions, and mind you, at this time, when this gonna be, everybody gonna have a lack of sleep. When people already sleeping, they get mad and aggravated. In Jacob's trouble, people gonna have a lack of sleep, a lack of food and water. So you're gonna be delusional, seeing things, and also and this on top of you being on a run. And also on top of that, they ain't gonna have no answers on what's going on or if help gonna come. So going back to it, the brother just said a Jerusalem quote: when people have nothing else to lose and they've lost everything, they lose it. That's their mind. That's their mind. But at 2nd Ezra 5, it says that unrighteousness and incontinency go increase in the earth once people lose it, man. Lose everything. The water for that quote, all right. Right, let's read this last one and we'll end it. This is Brother Lamai. Jeremiah 15 and verse 2. And it shall come to pass if they say unto thee, right? Because a lot of our people hear what we saying now and not taking it serious. But when the times come, this word get taken away, they're going to try to seek the prophets and ask questions, what to do, where we go. Well, this is what the Lord going to tell us, or the Lord going to put it on our spirit to respond in this manner. Because right now is the time to get it. But a lot of people only got judgment coming to them, man. Hard times. Jeremiah 15 and 2, and it shall come to pass if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? What was that name of the Lord? Where we got to go? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, such as are for death to death, and such as are for sword to the sword, and such as are for famine to the famine, and such as are for captivity to the captivity. In other words, brother's going to be telling people their judgment in real life time. Look, man, the Lord about to, like the old prophet did, the young prophet, when he told him, when he rose up and said, why you disobeyed the Lord, you ain't going to make it, to a sepulcher. And as soon as he left, the Lord killed him. Right? Not that it's a laughing matter, but I'm laughing because you have people coming up and the Lord might put on their brother's spirit like, hey, shit, tomorrow the Lord will have the troops grab your ass up. You go die in a concentration camp. Right? Such as for captivity to captivity. They're going to be looking for answers and help, but it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late for some, man. Now, the Lord going to have mercy on who he won't, but it's going to be too late for a lot of people. Right? But I'm going to end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying against Salaki, the elder Tazapah, when able to make it with us this Thursday. Baba Kashab, y'all could throw up some prayers for me. Ain't feeling too well. But Lord willing, hey, if the society's still the same by next Thursday, we can bounce back next Thursday and continue on prophesying and update on this news. But hey, once again, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I posted all the articles in the chat. But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Joachim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And keep fighting, keep pushing, and we almost out of here, And with that, shalom.